Got a 2010 Ford Escape with a 3.0, and the code has nothing to do with the problem. Nuts and bolts with Tone here, guys, and today I have a 2010 Ford Escape with a 3.0 six-cylinder engine. Now, this one came in with a check engine light and a code, and the code was kind of misleading. It's a P061B, Internal Control Module Torque Calculation Performance. Now, when you look this up, it comes up as throttle body a lot of the time. However, when I looked it up in Identifix, it flat out said, do not replace the throttle body. So I popped the hood. What do I see? A brand spanking new throttle body. I knew something was up because when I got it in the car, there was a floor mat in the floor telling me somebody had worked on this. Now we got a new throttle body. So I'm going to walk you through what I did to find this. In this problem, this code can be set from a lot of different things. So let's jump right in. Before we get started, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell. You get notified of all my future content, which you definitely don't want to miss. All right, let's go check this one out.
I got this 2010 Ford Escape, and it's got a P061B, Internal Control Module Torque Calculation Performance. Customer's concern is that the idle is going up and down. Check engine light on. When you look it up, I don't know where I saw it, but the first thing was do not replace the throttle body. Prior to getting here, it has a brand new throttle body, and I know that because there's a floor mat on the front seat or on the floor showing it was just in a shop. Anyways, do a power balance, find out number 6 is low. Not always, but low. Hook up the IDS, no PCM updates available. That was one of the tests. And so did an injector kill, all the injectors died. Normal. Swap the coil, no change, still number 6. So I come over here, and I got the main connector here for the injectors, and I got my Devo forward probe kit, and I'm here, and there is number 6 injector, and then all the rest are 12.6. So luckily this way right here, I'm going to go ahead and be able to condemn an injector without tearing anything down. The one hard thing about this engine is that the harness, the wires are underneath the fuel rail, so you can't even really back probe the injector. So luckily I was able to go there, find the resistance. Boom, needs an injector. On to the next one. So you can't lift the fuel rail up without getting to the other side. So I was going to try to just lift it up and just pull this injector out, but I can't. And the reason is because prior to coming here, I noticed that this had happened here. So I'm going to have to fix that hole in the intake manifold. I was trying not to. So we're going to pull this intake off. We're just going to disconnect the throttle body connector, the EGR valve connector over here. We're going to disconnect the brake booster hose, the evap hose right here, sensor back here, and another hose, and then we're going to take all the bolts out. This plenum's going to come off. Also going to have 2 8mm bolts here that support from a bracket that you get off. Leave the EGR valve attached to the pipe. You just unbolt the 2 10s, and here we are. And now we're off. Now you want to plug all your holes for your intake, and then take an air nozzle and blow all this crap out of here so it doesn't go inside your injector holes. So once you get the fuel rail out, you just have to work it back and forth. You want to you're going to want to replace all these lower O-rings. Luckily, the injectors are held in by clips because sometimes they pull out of the fuel rail too. So we got this out. Here's the clip right here. We're going to put a new injector in here. And the harness, you don't have to disconnect any of the injectors because it has one harness right here that you unplug. We're going to go ahead and take this out. And now we're going to go ahead and just reseal all of this and lube it all up real good. All right, so here's the pack of injector seals that you're going to need. And then here's the injector right here. I don't know if it shows the part number. There's the injector. So there we go. So we're going to put these bottom seals on. We're going to lube them up before we put it in. So I just took some oil and drizzled it all over the injectors, the injector O-rings, and the new one. Just put some oil on both sides. Just popped it in, and now we're gonna put the clip in. And if you're not sure which way it goes, just look at that one, and it's gonna slide in. I'm not gonna do this one-handed, I don't think. Oh, there we go. And now it's in. And now just make sure you connect your connector. So, because it's really hard to get it out while it's in the car. And then put these O-rings on. The easiest way to put these injectors on is you slide it on the small part, you take your pocket screwdriver and you get it over the lip, and then you can work it around with your fingers. All right, so you want to make sure that you take a rag with some brake clean and a screwdriver and put it down in each one of these holes and clean them up real good before you put your new injectors in, or before you put your injectors back in. So when you put it in, it shouldn't be hard to push them down. You're just going to slide them in. Go ahead and reconnect your little Christmas tree right there, and reconnect your injector connector there. And now we should be good to go. And now we need to clean this up and get ready for the intake. This bolt was broken for mine, so we're trying to find the bolt for it. All right, you don't see this very often. There was a broken bolt in this intake before I got it. Started drilling with a regular drill bit, and I thought I saw the bolt move, so I got a left-hand drill bit, started drilling down pretty good. All I did was take my Mac extractor to see if it was the right size, and by hand, it's moving by hand. Look at that. Hell yeah, that is success. And there we go. Got it out. Look at that. Boom. And the dealer had the bolt. I can't believe it. Woo! But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this all cleaned up. And then you're also going to need a gasket. So this is the one you want right here. It comes with the EGR. So we're going to go ahead and clean that old gasket off right there and on the intake side and slip a new gasket in there when we put it on. So you're just going to have one plenum gasket like that. All right, just clean this up. Put your new gasket in here and make sure that you're cleaned up here. Right there. And also on your EGR valve. And now we're just going to slide the intake in. And don't forget your wires have to go through your throttle body opening here. So as you set it down, and put that in. So once you set your intake in here like this, before you tighten anything down, you want to come over here, or maybe start a couple bolts. You want to come over here and get your EGR valve on with your new gasket, and also get your bolts down here into the bracket and get everything started before you tighten this down, because then that all moves, you can't move it. Tighten the bolts 89 inch-pounds plus 45 degrees. So once you've started these bolts and then got your EGR valve gasket and EGR bolt started and the bolt started for the bracket, when tighten these down, 89 inch-pounds plus 45 degrees, and then you're going to go ahead and tighten down your EGR valve and your bracket, connect all your connectors, connect your purge hose, and the purge hose disconnects by depressing that pin and that pin at the same time. So you're just going to kind of come in here and squeeze the two together. That's how you get it off. And connect your fuel line and get your air intake back all on. Don't forget your map sensor and your two vacuum hoses back here. And so now that we got the injector replaced, number 6 injector is looking good. Now we're even across the board. You'll notice that it's still a little bouncy because gasoline vehicles kind of bounce, but diesels are pretty much straight across. They're a lot more stable. But anyways, number 6 was dropping all the way down to here. So it's looking good. All right. All right, so here's a Ford Escape with the bad injector. Got the power balance. You know, we got the top Don Phoenix Light 3, baby. Love this scan tool. I use it all the time, every day. Number 6 was bouncing down quite a bit, and now you can see everything is even across the board pretty much. Most importantly, number 6 is not misfiring. Wasn't misfiring before, it just had low power output. So good to go. Most importantly, with a Ford, before you ship it, you always want to do a key on engine running test to make sure that there's no issues. Doing that right here with the top down. It's also very important to run this test when you get a Ford that comes in the shop. I can't tell you how many times seen Fords come in and they have the EGR code and people will just start going and testing them and say, hey, was it failing when you started? How did you go about it? Oh, the code. Run a key on engine running test. If there's an EGR problem, it's going to pick it up during that test, most likely. And then the really good news is that when you get done, you know that if you run that key on engine running test again and it passes, then you know that you fixed the problem. You verified when it's failing and you verified that it's fixed. Super important on Fords. And I don't know. I know so many techs that didn't even know about it. Anyways, let's go.
As you saw in this video, sometimes things are not always what it originally appears to be. In this one here, it didn't even set a misfire code. It did not have a power balance code. It did not have an injector code. However, it did have an injector problem. And that injector problem was causing this issue that made it appear as though the throttle body was bad. Now remember, codes in the computer, they don't tell you what's wrong with the car. All they do is tell you where the computer saw a problem in its scan of everything. Remember, this computer is programmed. Everything has to read at a certain reading. This should read here. This should read here. It has this logic. And if it's out of if the logic isn't out of range enough to set a code for that problem, then it sees something somewhere else. So thanks for watching the video. Drop a comment down below and let me know if you've dealt with this problem before, with this code before. I'm not sure that I'd ever seen it before. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.